Most people think being financially ahead means having a big number in the bank, some magic figure that suddenly makes life feel secure. It doesn't really work that way. Being financially ahead is mostly about resilience, the space between what comes in and what goes out, and the systems that keep one bad month from becoming a crisis. Here are 10 signs you may be more financially ahead than you think. No six-figure salary required. Be honest with yourself as we go. Sign 1. You are not carrying high-cost debt from month to month. If you pay your credit card balance in full whenever you can, instead of letting expensive interest compound, you have already avoided one of the fastest ways financial progress gets erased. Debt itself is not automatically bad. A mortgage or a low-cost loan can be manageable. The danger is debt that keeps growing faster than your savings and investments can grow. Sign 2. Your essential costs leave room for the rest of your life. You do not need to follow one perfect budgeting formula, especially because income, housing costs, and taxes differ around the world. But you do need to know that your must-pay bills are not consuming every dollar that arrives. If housing, food, transport, debt payments, and basic insurance leave you some margin to save, invest, or handle surprises, that is a real sign of progress. Sign 3. You have money set aside for emergencies. 3 months of core expenses is a common starting target, and people with less predictable income, dependence, or weaker safety nets may want more. The exact number is not a pass-or-fail test. What matters is that an unexpected repair, medical bill, or income interruption does not automatically send you to a high-interest credit card. Sign 4. You understand your debt-to-income ratio. This simply means you know how much of your gross monthly income goes toward debt payments. You may hear rules like 28% for housing and 36% for all debt combined. Those are common United States mortgage guidelines, not universal laws, and actual lenders use different rules. The useful question is simpler. After your required debt payments, do you still have enough room to live, save, and adapt if something changes? Sign 5. Your net worth is trending upward over time, even slowly. Net worth is what you own minus what you owe. It is not about hitting some age-based magic number or winning a comparison with someone online. Quarter over quarter and year over year, if your assets are generally rising or your debts are generally falling, the habits underneath are working. A small upward line is still an upward line. Sign 6. You know your numbers without fear. You have a rough sense of your monthly spending, your debt balances, your cash savings, and what you are investing. You do not need to track every coffee purchase or memorize every account balance. But avoiding the numbers completely usually means you cannot make a good decision when you need to. Awareness is not obsession. It is control. Sign 7. Some of your income is automatically going toward your future. Depending on where you are right now, that could mean paying down high-cost debt, building cash reserves, contributing to a retirement account, or investing for long-term goals. The exact vehicle changes by country and circumstance. The habit does not. When future you gets paid before all the optional spending happens, progress becomes a system instead of a monthly argument with yourself. Sign 8. You know what your insurance actually covers. Protection is not exciting, but it is part of financial stability. You know the major gaps in your health, home, car, life, or disability coverage that apply to your situation. If somebody depends on your income, you have thought through what would happen if you could not work. The right policies vary enormously by country, family, and employer benefits. So this is about understanding your exposure, not copying somebody else's checklist. Sign 9. A job loss would be painful, but it would not cause immediate panic. Nobody expects to be comfortable forever without income. The question is whether you have enough cash, flexibility in your spending, and a plan to get through the first weeks or months without reaching for costly debt. This is what your savings margin is for. It buys you time to make better decisions when life is not going to plan. Sign 10. Checking your bank balance does not fill you with dread before a normal purchase. This is not about spending carelessly or pretending money doesn't matter. It is about the calm that comes from knowing your bills are covered, you have a buffer, and you are moving in the right direction. Financial stability should eventually feel less like constant vigilance and more like breathing room. Here is the real point. None of these signs require you to look wealthy. They are not about a luxury car, a huge salary, or owning impressive things. They are about creating enough margin that a setback does not wipe out all your progress. You might have only 2 or 3 of these signs today. That is not failure. It gives you a clear list of what to build next. This video is for educational purposes only, not personalized financial advice. Your priorities can change based on income, debt costs, family responsibilities, insurance, and the country where you live. Use these as principles to adapt, not rigid rules you have to meet perfectly. Which one of these are you building next? Let me know in the comments, and in the next video, we will map out where your next dollar should go.